This all comes from the real authority in this country, which is, and I don't say authority is the wrong, maybe the real force in this country, which is money. So let me give you a paradigm shifting little factoid here about the Wizard of Oz. In the book, before they made the movie, the slippers were not ruby. They were silver. So Dorothy wore silver slippers and walked down the golden road to the Emerald City to meet the man behind the curtain who had no real power, but had power over everything. That entire story was about the crime of 1873, which was the demonetization of silver. So it was silver and gold leading to the Emerald City. And when they made the movie, which they literally killed Julie Garland making that movie, by the way. They said, this is a little too uncomfortable. So they changed the slippers to ruby from silver because it gave away what the story was actually about. It was the control of the country by the bankers, which were wresting control away and eventually would take full control in 1913 with the Federal Reserve Act. And a lot of the stuff we're talking about today, people think that it's all about this local entity or that local entity or this government. This is all about money and control, because if you look at the history of oligarchy, it is that you can make all the laws you want, you can control the government all you want, but if I control the money, I control everything. And so one of the things that makes what we're talking about powerful is it reduces your dependence on them for their money, their capital controls. Yeah. And that's something I think very few people are aware of, that subtle change was made. And so very few people have ever read The Wizard of Oz. They've all seen the movie or the remake or whatever. And that's an interesting thing. So the key was silver. The key was silver. I don't know that that's the case anymore, but the key was to have money, because silver was considered the people's money. Yeah. And gold was the banker's money. And so having the people's economy was the key to unlocking the power of the man behind the curtain. Isn't that wild? Why don't we learn that in school? And the reason I know shit like this, like when I was in 11th grade, I had a history teacher that probably could have been teaching at a university. He was an old Vietnam vet at the time. So he was older for the Vietnam vet generation. And he came in one day with one of the Philadelphia phone book. And he said, in this phone book, there's 3 colors of pages. There's yellow pages, it's commercial. There's white pages, that's you and me, that's residential. And there's blue pages, that's government. And he challenged us to find the Federal Reserve in the blue pages. And we couldn't find it. And we pass it around and we're all looking at it. It's got to be in there. It's a federal agency. It's in the yellow pages. Because it's not government. It's a private entity. Yeah. And don't ever think one person saying one thing can't make a difference, because here I am, I'm 50 years old and I'm telling that story.